Today's video, coal fire management. The better you can get at this, the better you're gonna stay at forging. To kick things off, I've got basically a cleared out fire pot. I've got plenty of coke and breeze and remainders from the previous fire here that we're gonna use to begin this fire. And I have a ton of good green coal piled up, ready to roll over here in my beautiful coal hopper that I have recently designed and put together. Yay! Okay, here we go. 2 pieces of paper. This could be newsprint, packing paper, craft paper. Don't care. But as long as it is basically like newspaper print variety, you're good. This is roughly the size of 1 full fold out of newspaper. I got another one just like it. I'm going to use one in the fire pot and one here in the forge hood to help begin that draft. You don't have to, but man, does it work wonders. Ball it up. Tight, I should add. In the pot. This doesn't need to be nearly as big, but it's what I got, so I'm using it. Kobe. We're going to lay some flame to this paper inside the forge hood. That's going to begin a nice upward draft right here. It's going to help suck this beginning smoke in and out. Fire to the bottom of your fire pot ball. A slow but constant, steady stream of air. Don't let up on the air. Keep going. I'm adding coal around the outsides of my fire now. I've been gradually adding coke from the previous fire. At this point, everything is caught, everything's taking. I'm just making sure to keep some coke worked down into the fire a bit so that I don't burn hollow. And to burn hollow essentially means that inside of this fire pot, there's an area in there that doesn't have any fuel burning down in there. You've basically got a big hole in your fire. We're good to go at that point. Work your piece in and amongst the coke. You have to beware because sometimes you're going to have places in the pot that are hotter than others. You're going to have spots down in the bottom of the fire pot that you will burn your steel up if you put it in too far. Don't do that. As a wise man once said, this is to be avoided. I'm looking at you, Scott Wadsworth. Something else that you should consider doing, it makes for more efficient use if you are using straight coal and not coke. A watering can. Not dump, just sprinkling. Thinking a light baptism here, okay? As this fire burns, it's going to help it convert to coke. That's the good stuff. You're going to see variations of this where guys use sopping wet rags. I notice a lot of what you're going to see here is actually steam. I actually think that the sopping wet rag approach is better. But I don't have one of those right now. But if you've got a side draft forge hood, this action is what you need to be seeing. All of the smoke, steam, and fire is coming right up out of the fire pot and taking a sideways trip right into the Super Sucker forge hood and up a 12-inch pipe up and out the wall of the shop. Also, when you are working with scoops and things like this that involve pretty much sheet or fine plate metal, be prepared to tear your fire completely apart. That's okay. You can deal with it. I've got all of this coal around here coking in a mound around the fire. I'm going to get it tore up. I'm going to burn some more coke. I'm going to bring in more coal. I'm going to make sure everything burns efficient. We're going to be fine. We're going to fire going in the center. This is all coke and breeze. I have fresh coal piled around the sides, and I have plenty of fresh coal on standby. In the center, we're going to keep that fed with coke. On the outsides, I'm going to keep that coal piled up, which is going to continue to convert to coke, which is what we're going to continue to burn. So as I'm forging these pieces and running my blower, you can kind of hear and see and get a sense for how the fire blows up through the fire pot. Right now it's doing pretty good. You can see some flame shooting up from underneath. We know that it's working nice. However, clinker breaker. Fire pot's got one. Work the clinker breaker. Make sure you don't have everything plugging everything up in there. And here we go. Now I've got even better airflow through that fire to help keep everything nice and hot all the way up on top of that pot. Probably every several heats or so, make sure that you've got enough air coming up through your fire pot. Just keep an ear for it, keep an eye for it. And then as you go through the heats, you're going to notice it to decrease. Work your clinker breaker. Open that airway up. Let it blow. You're going to be in much better shape. All right, so I've successfully pulled my fire apart. I've got leftover coke up in here in the box and pulled off to the side. I've got my coal pulled off to this side, so that way I know exactly what's what. Every bit of this stuff is going to be used to start the next fire, this and this. And then every bit of this is going to be used to, well, make more coke in the next fire. When I come back to this tomorrow, we're going to dig through the little bit on top here just to make sure we don't leave behind a handful of coke. That would be a complete waste. Then we're going to get down in here. I'm going to show you what ash and clinker look like. We're going to dig all that stuff out, and it's going to the junk. All right, so it's a few days later. We've got a bunch of stuff to pull apart. Coke pulled over here. Coal pulled over there. All this beautiful stuff up top. Breeze and coke, keeping it. All that. All right, look at all that. That's how much I was able to salvage out of this fire pot. All this stuff down here, we don't want that. I mean, just look at this. Let me get out of the light. Just look at this. Ash, clinker, junk. All that stuff belongs there. Voila. And we're done. That's it. Coal fire management. It's going to help you keep your pieces hot. Don't waste too much fuel. Keep your hammer at the anvil. Keep your skills increasing. Hope you pick something up out of this. Like and subscribe. Leave me a comment. And we'll see you on the next go round.